Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to take a look at a product that I've been using now for over 6 months, and that is the AnkerWork B650, a wireless microphone system, which I've been using for my videos for quite some time now. Okay, so throughout this video, by the nature of the fact that we're going to be reviewing the microphones that I use, some parts of this video are going to be using the microphone, like this part, and other parts are going to be using the phone's microphone that's built in. I'll put it up somewhere on the screen for you to know, and you'll be able to compare the audio quality there as well. So let's get into it. Let's take a look at what you get in the box, and let's have a little talk about the product itself.
So unfortunately no unboxing with this one because like I say, I've actually been using this for quite some time. I don't have the box anymore, and actually I purchased this before I even started doing tech reviews really. So anyway, let's see what we get. You basically, in the box, you have this here, this case, and also a bag of goodies. These are the accessories, which we'll take a look at in a moment. But first, the main unit itself. Essentially, you've got the carry case that also has a built-in battery. So you've got a USB-C port on the back there to charge, and then around the front, you've got 4 LEDs that kind of show you the current status of the built-in battery. And when you open it up, you're presented with your 2 microphones, the receiver, and a few other little connectors as well. So let's take a look at each of these and see what we have. Essentially, you have 2 microphones which are identical other than the faceplate, which just helps you identify which is number 1 and which is number 2. So we'll take a look at this one here. And it's a pretty unassuming little device. It's a good size. It fits nicely on kind of a lapel if you need to. You have 2 different ways of you can connect this device to yourself, I guess is a bit of a weird way to put it, but you've either got a little clip, which will obviously clip nicely on stuff, but there is also a magnet. So the back of the clip is magnetic, so you can kind of magnet this through some clothing. These are very strong magnets, as you can tell. You can get quite far and it really pulls them together, so that's not going anywhere. It's really quite nice. You've got the pins on the back there for charging, and then what else do we have? Well, we have on the side here, we have a button. This turns it on and off, and then also if you short press, it will mute it and turn the button red, unmute, and you're blue again. And then you can long press to turn it on and off. Around the top, we have the actual microphone area itself, and then we also have a port here for a lapel mic if you want an actual extra small mic that can go into this, and then you could put this kind of maybe on your waistband or something and just use this as the kind of transmitter. And then also this is where the windscreen can be pushed into it as well. Other than that, the front here, you can see if you turn this, the little pad comes off. So you can change them. You get a few to match your style, I guess. In case you haven't realized by now, that's not really something I'm particularly worried about. So kind of stuck with the default here. But there you go. There is the microphone itself. So we'll pop that back in its carry case, and then we'll have a look at the receiver as well. And essentially the receiver comes in 2 parts, the actual kind of device itself, and then you have these connector dongles, I guess. You have the option of a lightning cable or a USB-C, and how those attach to the devices. On the back here, you have this kind of little port that it slides into. Pop it in there and you twist it and it locks in place. And then you can now plug that into a USB-C device, or of course you could use the other one here for lightning. You also have a clip here, so you could clip this onto sort of your waistband or something. And this does have some built-in memory within it, so you don't need to plug it into an external device if you're just recording. You can actually just use it independently. I've not really had much success in doing that. It's quite difficult from the display to know that you are actually recording. The few times I've tried to do that, it's turned out I haven't been recording. And that's obviously a very frustrating thing. So Personally, I'm always plugging it into either my phone or a computer or something else to do the recording. And then around the device, we have on the side here, we have a USB-C port and the kind of audio out port. So this you can definitely use if, for example, you have a camera that doesn't have a USB-C connection and you want to feed that into your camera. And then this will obviously take a USB-C cable. So for example, if you want to plug this into a desktop computer or something where this little connection isn't really going to fit, you can also do that. On the other side, you have a button, and all the button does is lock the screen. So when it's locked, you can't actually do anything. It comes up saying you can't do anything. And that's obviously going to just stop things getting changed on the screen. And then you have the screen itself. It is quite small. Definitely can be quite fiddly to operate, but it is a touch screen. As you can see here, you have displays for each of the microphones that are connected to. It automatically connects to the microphones that come with it. And if you close it, it disconnects them. So for example, you might just want to have one out and you can just close that and then you've just got the one microphone connected. It gives you signal strength, it gives you your battery of the microphone, all that sort of information, and also obviously the sound level. You've also got the top corner, the battery for the receiver itself. And then if you scroll, you've got some different kind of settings. So this is where you can start recording. This is where you can change the gain, plus or minus. You can drill into looking at the file storage and checking to see what recording you have on the device. If you go back to the main screen, you've got other settings that you can kind of move through on the different axes of the screen. If you swipe up, down, and all that sort of stuff, you can change things to be like a stereo track or a mono track, and also it has noise reduction built in. I actually find this noise reduction to be incredibly useful even on inside settings, so we'll take a look at this later. But that's kind of it. Those are essentially the settings on the device. It's pretty minimal, but it works incredibly well. You've got lots of different connection options, and like I say, they all then sit in this case, which charges the devices up. So you've always got battery life if you need it. The devices themselves have about 6 hours of a single charge and up to about 15 hours with the battery case itself. So plenty for any sort of day's worth of shooting, really. And then it really doesn't take long to charge up the case afterwards. All right, let's have a look at the accessories. So the other thing that came in the box is this accessory bag. It's sort of a leatherette bag and it says AnkerWork on it. I've never really used this. I don't really use any of the accessories, to be honest. The device itself is all you kind of need, but you do get a quick start guide which gives you lots of information. Let's have a look and see what else is in here. So you've got the wind muffs. Essentially it's just got a sort of plastic pin that goes into that audio socket, so that's how it sort of attaches to the device itself. Again, never really had to use these, but I'm sure they'd be very useful if you do need to film in windy locations. You do then also get an audio cable, so this is again so you can connect it up to your camera or anything else that doesn't have a USB-C, and it does say on it for camera, just in case you're not 100% sure. You get a nice generic USB-C cable. Again, haven't had any use for this because I have a million USB-C cables, don't we all? And you get 2 extra face plates. So you get this kind of shiny plate, if shiny is your thing, I guess. These, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you've got multiple sets, maybe you've got 4 microphones, it can be useful to have more color code options. But still, again, not really something that I'm worried about. They do make a big song and dance about this on the website, and it's a big selling point, but kind of a gimmick to me, if you ask me. All right, let's get outside and give this thing a test.
So first up, let's take a look at the noise reduction that is built into the device. This is without the noise reduction in my garden. There's quite a lot of birds around, a little bit of background noise, not sure how it sounds. But let's try it with the noise reduction on. So this is with the noise reduction on low, I definitely noticed that the noise reduction helps significantly. Again, not sure if it's going to in this sound. It's the only problem with reviewing something that's audio based. I got no idea what this is going to be like until I review the clip. Still, let's try it on full. And this is with the high noise reduction, which is what I tend to leave it on. To be honest, I do find it does a very good job at removing background noise. So I tend to just leave this on. Yeah, overall, I think that works pretty well. All right, let's see just how far we can actually go. How far will this transmit? Okay, so we are down here at the riverbed by the sea, and we're going to see just how far this can go. Apparently, it can do 200 meters. I'm not sure I believe it, but I'm going to head down and we're going to see how far I can get. This is also with the noise cancellation on, so there should be some wind noise maybe. I've got the muffler on as well. Anyway, let's get down there and see what happens. Here we are, quite far away. We've made it quite far down. This seems to be about as far as it'll work before it starts to cut out. I'm not sure that's quite 200 meters, but it's still a very far distance. So I'm not really sure what use case you'd have for needing to be this far away from your microphone to your camera, but still, it's a useful feature to have, I guess, and it does kind of work. I'm not going to say it's 200 meters, but obviously if there's anything in the way, that's going to make it a lot worse. But this works. Excellent. So there you have it. It does do a pretty good job. Yeah, it's a lovely day. I think we're going to sit here for a while and then I'm going to get back to the office and wrap this review up. And we are back in the office. Quite much later in the day, actually. Ended up being a lovely day. So spent some time out by the sea. Absolutely very much needed. Anyway, back to the review. So, what do we think? What do we think about the audio? Well, I think actually it's a really great mic system. It's very flexible. There's lots of different ways that you can connect it to a device, or you don't even need to connect it to a device to record audio. That's a really great plus. It's also very handy that it comes with the battery charging case. I definitely find that, even if I'm going for 3-4 day event, vlogging each day, it's actually enough battery to last that whole time. And even if it's not, it doesn't take long to charge back up. So really am happy with that as well. I think generally speaking, the audio quality is very good. I think the mic is quite sensitive. I definitely find that I have to lower the gain. That could just be that I shout. But generally speaking, again, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. There's that range that you can control. I also think the noise cancelling is very good. I think it does a very good job at removing background noise in busy locations. Definitely check out some of my old vlogs and you'll see, I'm in a conference floor that's absolutely heaving around me and the volume is significantly lowered and my voice increased. That's all done by that. I don't do any real like post-production on the audio. Don't need to. It's great. Any downsides? Well, I think definitely the screen can be very fiddly to use. I don't think trying to use it as an independent device is particularly reliable. It's definitely not obvious enough if a recording is or isn't being taken. So I definitely always want to make sure I'm connecting it to a device. Also, of course, the price. This thing is £250 brand new. I'm sure you can get it on offers at this point. It's been out now for, I think, the best part of a year, and definitely you'll be able to find some offers and stuff. So I think it is a very good offering, and it definitely gives other wireless mic options a run for their money. The distance thing, it's a bit of a gimmick, I think. Like, there's very few scenarios, I would say, where you need the receiver to be 100 meters away from where you're actually speaking and still be recording camera. As you kind of saw, like even just using my phone, well, it does have 10 times optical zoom, but it's still not going to create a great image at that kind of zoom. So unless you've got a pretty good lens, it just seems like a strange scenario. So I guess it's useful that you know that you're going to be able to kind of use any scenario, but still feels like a bit of a gimmick. Still, overall, I think this is a really great product, and if you are looking for a wireless mic setup, definitely one to look out for, especially if you can get it on a good deal. I know I'll be continuing to use mine for many years to come. I think that's the important part, is the longevity of this. Yes, it's an investment, but I think this is going to be good quality for a long time. You have to spend some serious money if you're going to try and get something even higher quality. So, generally speaking, I think it's well worth it, and definitely a good upgrade from just using the built-in microphone in your phone or camera. So yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up there for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this review. I've certainly enjoyed reviewing it, and just enjoyed tech reviews in general at the moment. So please, if you have enjoyed it, do make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're still a very small channel. We're growing, but still heading for that 1,000 subscriber goal. So if you found this video and you've enjoyed it and you've got to this point, please do hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon for another video. Bye for now.